Hi, my name is Lizzy and I have hypothyroidism. Now, I mentioned this in a video a couple days ago and I got some comments of people asking about it or wanting to know more about it, and I realized I've never really talked about it on my channel before. Now, I know this may come as a shock, as I can obviously draw a perfect stethoscope, needle, and pill bottle, but I am not a doctor. So for goodness sakes, do not take my story and my symptoms and my experience as a diagnosis for yourself. Maybe it will get you thinking, and if you're like, maybe I have hypothyroidism, go to a doctor and get it checked out. Because I know relatively nothing. All I know is how it has affected me and what my journey with this looks like. So please, dear God, do not think this is a medical video. There are videos of actual doctors on YouTube talking about this, and I'm going to be quoting some of them. So please refer to those for the actual facts. So basically, this all started when I was a sophomore in high school. I had always been like a straight A student. School was never really a problem for me. I skipped kindergarten, so I was super smart. But I had never like failed a class, gotten bad grades. It was usually all A's. And if I had like a B, it was like, yikes, but oh well. My goal was straight A's for most of my life. Until I became a sophomore in high school. I started taking this AP class, and I don't know if this is like a universal, global way of ranking classes, but it's basically there's regular class, there's pre-AP class, and then there's AP class. Regular class is just like the basics. Pre-AP was like in only certain grades. It was before AP, so pre-AP. It was like getting you prepared for the advanced placement class, which is what AP stands for. And a lot of advanced placement classes in high school, you get college credit with them. So they're a little tougher, they involve more. And sophomore year of high school was the first year I ever took a full AP class. It was world history. And I was struggling. I just didn't care. I kind of just gave up, and I was failing, and then that kind of translated to my other classes, and I just was like, no, I can't do that assignment. Like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to do the homework. Oh, I'm too tired. I'm not going to study. I'm not going to do this test. Or, I just could not muster up the will or the energy to like put anything into that class in particular, but most of school other than theater, because I was always into that. So that got my mom kind of wondering if something was wrong with me, if I was depressed or if I had ADD or ADHD or something like that, because I was just really struggling with life and school. So she took me to a doctor, and I remember talking to like a psychiatrist or therapist or someone like that. They were asking me questions, and I was like, yeah, I kind of feel that. And they're like, well, have you always felt that? And I was like, no, not really. They would ask me something like, oh, this is a bad example. They'd be like, do you feel tired? And I'd be like, yeah, pretty much all the time. And they were like, have you always felt tired? Do you remember feeling tired in 6th grade or in 5th grade? And I'd be like, no, I was pretty energetic. So they would ask me all these things to like rule out depression or ADHD, ADD, stuff like that. And they were basically like, no, I don't really see anything in particular that's wrong with her mentally. Maybe you should get her blood work done and see if there's anything going on there. So we did. And sure enough, my thyroid was the issue. The pure definition of hypothyroidism is when the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormones to meet the needs of the body. The thyroid is underactive. If your thyroid levels are low, hypothyroid, then the TSH levels are high, because your thyroid isn't producing the hormone that it needs to bring that level down. If your TSH levels are high, that means you have hypo. But if they're low, that means you have hyperthyroidism, which is a different thing. So some of the common symptoms for hypothyroidism are reflective of your body being slow. So hypo, it's producing lower amounts of hormones than you need. It makes your body slower. You're more tired. You have fatigue, which was like a huge problem of mine and still is to this day. Another symptom is increased sensitivity to cold, so you get colder easier. Dry skin, weight gain, muscle weakness, puffy face, constipation, depression, impaired memory. I have like little sections of all of these things every once in a while, even though I'm medicated now. So thyroid problems are extremely common in women, and as I understand it, if your family members who are women have it, you probably will have it. So my mom and my sister both have thyroid problems. It was very likely and common for me to have them as well, which I do. And so we thought, great, okay, well, she's got thyroid problems, so just give her some medicine and it'll be all good. We went to the endocrinologist, which is like the person that deals with this kind of stuff, and they can, because you can feel your thyroid. By the way, your thyroid is like right here in your neck, because I know whenever I found out about this existing at all, I was like, thyroid, hormones, women, like I thought it was like down there or something, you know? No, it's in your neck. Everyone has it. So the endocrinologist was like feeling my thyroid, you know, just checking things out, and they noticed that there was a bump on one of them, aka a nodule. A nodule is a growth of abnormal tissue. The thyroid gland may develop nodules. Nodules are often used to refer to enlarged lymph nodes. So you may have heard of people having nodules on their vocal cords or on their lymph nodes, and like they have to get it removed because they can't sing. I think this happened to Julie Andrews. Ugh, let me do a quick Google, hang on. Yes, exactly. Okay, so Julie Andrews underwent surgery to remove non-cancerous nodules on her vocal cords, but they messed up her surgery and like messed up her voice forever. Can you imagine being the surgeon that messed up Julie Andrews' voice? Yikes. So back to me. So I was 14 or 15 at this time, and they told us that I could either get a biopsy to check if the nodule was cancerous, because they can be cancerous, or I could get surgery to just have it removed. So me being me, and just basically like trusting in every medical procedure and not having any questions, I was like, I don't want a needle on my neck, let's just have surgery. But of course we all discussed it together, and we just decided that ultimately surgery was the better option for me. So right before Thanksgiving, I went on that surgery table and they slit open my throat and they ripped out, no, that sounds awful, sorry. And they delicately removed half of my thyroid. So the thyroid kind of goes like on two sides, like here and here. And they took out the left side, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember much about the surgery. I just remember I wasn't really scared. I was just kind of, like I said, I just trusted the doctors knew what they were doing and went in it, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, like being in a hospital. Wow, this is like a movie. I remember they had like orange dye on my skin because it's like cleanses and also like shows them where the cut is, because they draw on you with like blue marker. I'm like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not really sure what they were using that for, but I just remember being orange when I woke up. I stayed in the hospital for one night. A bunch of my friends came to see me, which was very sweet. The recovery wasn't that bad. I just kind of like took it easy for a while. I was a little paranoid about my neck being like touched or pulled or anything after that, because I thought that like my scar would just rip open and like my neck would come out. So I wore scarves right after the surgery a lot, just to protect it, just to keep it like out of sight so no one would ask about it. I had people after the surgery, and still to this day, they will ask me if I tried to kill myself. And I'm like, well, if I did, you probably shouldn't just ask that, you know? I also remember right after my surgery being very self-conscious about the scar. I didn't think about having a scar for when I was agreeing to the surgery. Of course, I would make fun of it in my natural response to insecurity and say that like, oh, Sweeney Todd got me. I was really into Sweeney Todd back then. And I would like rub Mederma, the scar cream, on it every day, multiple times a day, and I'm like, it's never going away, because there was part of it that was kind of like bubbled up, and I was like, this is never going away, I'm gonna have this forever. And now I'm like, you can't even see it. I mean, you can, but like you can't. So after the surgery, I was prescribed levothyroxine, which is the medicine that I take every day, and I have to go back to the doctor every 6 months, I believe, or every year at least, to redo my blood tests to check my thyroid level, because my prescription might need to be adjusted. Right now, I take 150 micrograms of levothyroxine, and you know, it just depends on, I don't know, it depends on stuff. It depends on age, and I think it just progressively will increase over time. So to test the thyroid levels, they just like take blood, test your blood, and it tests for the TSH levels, which stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. So the normal level when I was taking this test is from 0.45 to 4.5. So My level before surgery was 6.68, pretty high. And then my level after surgery, because I only have half a thyroid, it's going to be producing even less than it was before, is 39. So it was like, whoa. So that is just like how much of a difference having half of your thyroid makes. So yeah, I think that's pretty much my whole like hypothyroid, thyroid surgery story. Hi, I'm editing this video right now and I just realized that I never mentioned that they did test the nodule after my surgery and it was not cancerous, it was benign. So very important detail I forgot to mention and I thought I needed to add that in here. So back to the video. Like I said, I just take medicine every morning and I get my blood tested periodically by the doctor to make sure that my prescription is all good. And that's it. I hope I didn't say anything too medically incorrect in this video. If I did, and you know the correct thing, please correct me in the comments. And I would love to have a discussion there with you guys if you have any other questions about how I deal with it or how it makes me feel. I don't know, whatever you think you have questions about, I'm an open book. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!